everyone, welcome back to my channel, Shouldn't Read. It has been such a hot fucking minute. I'm Stephanie. If you're new to this channel, hi, hello. I do a lot of bookish content and I have been on the longest hiatus. Work has been killing my ass. I haven't done anything. I actually just went through my memory card and deleted all of my videos, and I had a lot of like half done vlogs, but at this point I'm like, I don't remember what this vlog's about. I don't know what I did with them. I don't know what the progress was, and I was like, I need to do a fresh start. So I deleted everything. I'm starting new, and I'm starting because I got inspired again when I went to ALA this last weekend. I actually just drove back from San Diego, so I'm pretty fucking tired, but I was like, I want to film the books I got, but before I do that, I need to film all the other books I got, because I am one of those people that needs to go from point A to point B. I can't just jump to point B. I need to start at point A first, and that means all the books that I have previously. So I have a shit ton of books I collected over the entire year. So this is my first 2024 book haul so far, and I have so many books, like it is insane. So at this point in time, I don't even know what most of these books are. They've just been sitting on my like bookshelves. It's super disorganized. I have to do some book reorganization sometime soon, so I'll probably have that video out. But in the meantime though, let's talk about the books I've gotten. These are ones I got from books I purchased myself, from special editions like Fairy Loot, Illumicrate, etc. Also from publishers, and also from unsolicited people. So let's just go and go through them and we'll see what they are, because in essence of time, and also because I just drove like from 3 to, was it 7 right now, to my apartment. Yeah, I'm pretty tired, so let's just kind of go through this book pretty quickly, and I don't really know what to say, guys. I'm just like, I'm tired. Okay, so the first book that I got over here is So Witches We Became by Jill Bogusinski. This is an arc that I got from, I think, Novel. Came unsolicited, and it comes out this month, July 2024. It says, evoking Stephen King's The Mist and perfect for fans of Rory Power and Courtney Summers, this queer feminist horror follows a girl who finds her voice and steps into her witchy power. I love witches. I'm excited. I also love Courtney Summers books previously, so I am pretty anticipated for this one. Then I have over here The Temptation of Magic by Megan Scott. This one I think was a Fairy Loot edition. I don't remember which month they came in, but this is stunning. As you can tell here, like, gorgeous book. And because it's Fairy Loot, it's definitely fantasy. It says, he was an Imperial, her greatest threat and greatest fascination, everything she'd been warned against, and yet she wanted him still. So definitely like an enemies to lover type of book. Something about ability to kill any deadly supernatural. Yeah, we'll see how this goes, guys, but this book is stunning. Then I got one from Goldsboro. This is The Five Broken Blades by Mai Corland. This one, it says, let the best liar win, and essentially follows, it's the season for treason. The king of Yusan must die. The 5 most dangerous liars in the land have been mysteriously summoned to work together for a single objective, to kill the god King June. I am intrigued for sure. I definitely did not realize this was going to be a kind of like an Asian inspired book, because it seems to be about, like, if you look at this, there's like a samurai looking person here, and it's about blades, and the author is Korean American, so that makes sense. Anyways, this is stunning as well. The cover, gorgeous. This one from Goldsboro. Then the next book I have is one that I actually got from ALA, but I did not know I had a copy of this book, so I got the ARC version. But that is The Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. This is the Goldsboro version that I got. It says, we can get murdered tomorrow, tonight we party. And look at this book. It is stunning. I love the edges. It looks like scales, and there's definitely dragons in here, by the way. It says 12 magical blessings, 12 days at sea, 1 chance to stop a killer and save the world. I just know that this book was like highly anticipated at the event, so I'm excited to have a special edition of this book. Clearly I have not been doing the best in terms of like keeping track of what I've gotten, because I just been getting them and just like archiving them onto my shelves. I really have not taken the time to look at any of these books because I've just been so busy with work. Like, work has taken over my life. Also, I was dealing with like some health stuff issues as well, and so I just been like very out of tune with what was on the bookish world. But I had purchased these I had purchased The Hotel a year ago with my friend, and I already told her we were gonna go, so I was like, we're gonna go we'll have fun. And then we purchased the tickets before I went on a hiatus, or like just when I went on hiatus, I'm not sure. And so I was like, I'm ready to go. So we went. It's also in San Diego, which is not that far of a drive. Anyways, next book I got over here is Most Ardently by Gabe Kolnovoa. This is a Pride and Prejudice remix, and I have no idea where this book came from. So this probably came unsolicited, but it says it's set in 1800s, and yeah, it's a Pride and Prejudice remix. So curious about this one. Also, the cover is super cute. I also got Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan. This obviously is a Christmas story, and it says this is the sequel to The Christmas Bookshop, which I've never read before. So I don't think I've read before, so I might give this away because I'm not actually big on Christmas books, to be quite honest. They're like a hit or miss, usually a miss. Sometimes, very rarely, they're a hit. And since I didn't read the first book, I might just give this away. That one came unsolicited. Then I got The Fury by Alex Michaelides. This one came out in ARC in January 2024, so it's been sitting for a while. It says this is a tale of murder, or maybe that's not quite true. At its heart, it's a love story, isn't it? I've read his previous books. One of them I really enjoyed, and then one of them I was very disappointed in. I really enjoyed The Silent Patient, but then The Maidens I felt was very meh. I also read it for a book club, and I feel like we all were kind of like about the book as well, but the first book was great. So I'm really curious about this one. They're not related, I don't think, though I did think that The Maiden, I believe, was like, there was like a character that was like a side character in the first book, so it's set in the same world, so it might be the same for this one. I have no idea. The next book I got over here is To a Darker Shore by Leanne Shores. This is a book that I actually pre-ordered because I got these pre-order goodies. Whenever I see art prints or really cute stickers, I tend to pre-order them because I like to add to my collection. So I got this one. It says, atonement for casting her best friend into hell is impossible. All she can do is wreak vengeance on his behalf and hope she destroys herself in the delivery of it. Very intrigued. Also, it's signed. Well, I got the book plate from the author. So anyways, excited for this one. Next book I have on here is Dragon Fruit by Makia Lucifer, or I totally Makia Lucier. There's no F there. It's from Book of the Month, and this cover was so interesting. That's why I got it, because it looks so pretty. It's so colorful, and it says, in the old tales, it is written that the egg of a sea dragon, dragon fruit, holds within it the power to undo a person's greatest sorrow. That's of all things that offer hope when hope has gone, the tale comes with a warning. Every wish demands a price. Definitely about sea dragons. So definitely like dragons, and I am intrigued. Then this next book I got is also from Book of the Month, and that is A Fox Wife by Yangzi Chu. She's the same person who wrote The Tiger, The Night Tiger. So really intrigued about this one. It says over here, some people think foxes are similar to ghosts, but we go around collecting chi. But nothing could be further from the truth. We are living creatures just like you, but only better looking. And it's set in 1900 at Manchura. So really intrigued about this one. I love the cover. Next one I have is also from Book of the Month, and that is Spiriting Gold by Carmela Locus. This one is irresistible gothic novel about sisterhood, seances, and sapphic love. Really intrigued about this one. I think what got me was the cover. It looks very interesting. I also got, I have a lot from Book of the Month. Okay, I think now they have it so you get like 4 add-ons and then Book of the Month. So now I only get Book of the Month when I can max out my box. So I have 5. And that is A Short Walk Through a Wide World by Douglas Westerbeck. Becky. This one says, a dazzling epic novel that charts the incredible adventurous life of one woman as she journeys the globe trying to outrun a mysterious curse that will destroy her if she ever stops moving. This looks so good. The last Book of the Month book I have is The Ministry of Time by Kaliane Bradley. It says, a boy meets a girl, the past meets the future, a finger meets a trigger, the beginning meets the end. And it's an ingenuously imagined, hilarious romp through time, space, and the human heart that adds an exhilarating new voice in contemporary fiction. Definitely some like sci-fi elements in here for sure, because talk about like time and like space traveling. But this cover looks so quirky. Next book I have on here is The Evocation by S.T. Gibson. I believe this is from Fairy Loot. It says, only blood can rewrite blood. This is stunning, as all their editions are. Like, look at this and the insides. Like, you can't tell me this is not breathtaking. I just know this is fantasy, and it says it's from the author of A Diary of Blood, which I have not read. It says, when a family curse threatens the life of David, a medium, he will turn to the only person he's ever trusted, his sorcerer ex-boyfriend Reese, which means he would have to open his heart to Mariah, Reese's astrologer wife. They met for the first time as they navigate magic-riddled Boston through hierarchical secret societies, familial bonds from beyond the grave, and much more in this gorgeously, richly imagined novel. I feel like this is gonna be a threesome, you know what I mean? Like, just from the premise, it sounds like it's leaning towards that. We'll see how this goes. Then I have another beautiful book, and that is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I am actually reading this for my book club this month, so I need to put it on the side because I need to read this soon. We're reading in like 3 weeks, and I have not picked it up yet. I have no idea what this book's about, but it's Leigh Bardugo, guys. I love her books. I'm obviously sold, and this is a gorgeous. I think I got this from Illumicrate, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, Illumicrate. So I got the special edition, and this is stunning. Next book I have on here is The One That Got Away with Murder by Trish Lundy. This one I think came unsolicited because I don't remember getting this book actually. It says, be careful who you fall for. Robbie and Trevor have a body count, the killer kind. So I guess they just are serial killers in a way. And now there's a girl they meet at school who is not a good girl. She has a dark past, and then she starts a no strings attached relationship with Robbie, and then she stumbles across shocking evidence that might just implicate him. Curious. I do love a good thriller. Next book I got on here is Projections by S.E. Porter. This one is, I think, unsolicited as well. It says, all prices are small when someone else pays them. And it's about a fledgling sorcerer, Gus Farrell, and a woman called Catherine Bildstein, and she's a ghost. She remains stuck to her obsessed murderer, even as he turns attention to girls who remind him of her. Interesting. Next book I have on here is Foul Days by Genoveva Dimova. This is an arc that I got also unsolicited. This one comes out in June 2024, so it came out last month. It says The Witcher meets Naomi Novik in this fast-paced fantasy rooted in Slavic folklore. I am intrigued. I love Naomi Novik when it comes to like Russian folklore aspects to it, so I feel like this will have that, and I really like that part of her. I don't like her for the Deadly Education series, but that's like very different genre and vibe than her like Spinning Silver book that I adore. Next one I have on here is The Scarlet Alchemist by Kylie Lee Baker. This one is a Fairy Loot edition. It is stunning, as they always are. Look at that. And the inside, gorgeous. And it says, the principle of alchemy, you cannot create good without also creating evil. And it's set in southern China. I remember getting intrigued by this one because it's obviously by an Asian author, and I always try to support my people, so here you go. Next one I got is A Bright Young Woman by Jessica Knoll. This is from Book of the Month. I'm going through some Book of the Month books again. This one says it's about a remarkable story inspired by a real-life sorority targeted by America's first celebrity serial killer. Intriguing, but I remember thinking this book would be really fascinating. Then I also got from Book of the Month The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon, or Lawhon. This one, it says it is a historical mystery inspired by the life and diary of Martha Ballard, renowned 18th century midwife who defied the legal system and wrote herself into American history. Another from Book of the Month, and that's Again and Again by Jonathan Evison. This one says, from one of America's greatest, it's a poignant, endlessly surprising story about love lost, found, and redeemed. So this book is about an old man who clings to his delusions and rehearses fantasy. He's like super lonely. And I don't know what intrigued me about this book. Maybe it's a cover. The next one I have from Book of the Month is The Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Johansson. This one is about a reimagining of Nutcracker. A tale of twin sisters divided by envy and magic and set against each other one fateful Christmas Eve. I love reimaginings. If you are familiar to my channel, reimaginings, retellings, mythology, all of that I love. So obviously intrigued by this one. Then I have The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. This is a Goldsboro edition that I got, so it has the gorgeous edges and the inside as well. gorgeous, and it says Cassie Andrews lives quietly, sharing an apartment with her best friend Izzy, and yet she feels something is missing from her life. Then a favorite customer gives her an old and rather curious book. At the very front there is a message. This is the Book of Doors. Hold it in your hand and any door is every door. And discovers that this is a special book, a magic book. But now, of course, there are people who will stop at nothing to possess it. I love a book about books, so very, very fascinated about this one. And I've been trying to get my book club members to pick this one up for like months, I feel like, and no one has. They don't vote for it, so I'm gonna have to read it on my own sometime. Next book I got is The Briar Club by Kate Quinn. This is unsolicited, and this one comes out this month, July 2024. It's supposed to be a haunting, powerful story about female friendships and secrets in Washington, D.C. boarding house during the McCarthy era. I realize I'm not a big historical person these days. It's like something that I have to be really in the mood for. But when I do love a historical, I love it to death. So which is why I always feel like I love historical, but I feel like the chance of that happening is very low. It's like 1 out of 10 books. The other 9 I would either DNF or find very mediocre. So when I went to ALA this weekend, I told them I'm a fantasy, I read horror, I read thrillers, and I read romance. I don't even mention historical. And anytime they were like, oh, want a history book? I'm like, no thank you. So I think I'm just not a historical reader anymore, or like it just takes a lot more for me to really love a historical book. So we'll see about this one, guys. I'm a little iffy, but this did come unsolicited. Next book I got is Beyond the Horizon by KJ Coulter. This one I got from a trade, actually. It says leaving is a death sentence, staying might be worse. And I just remember this book, I had it on there because one of my friends, the one who came with me to LA, I think she read this book and loved it. Like, she raved about it for a while. So I added it onto my Amazon book wish list, and someone bought it for a book trade. So I got it. Next one I have on here is The Crimson Moth by Kristen and Cicerelli. This is a stunning edition from Fairy Loot, obviously. Look at this. And the inside, like, I love it when they like go all out. So this is book 1 in a duology. It says the only thing more treacherous than being a witch is falling in love. And there's a witch vigilante. Interesting. I always love those forbidden romances. Anyways, also I love her pink hair. Next book I got is The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. This is a pre-order that I made because obviously I was like, love the Cruel Prince series, gotta read this one. To be honest, I'm a little disappointed by the first book, not gonna lie. So which is why I haven't like felt the biggest urge to read the second book, which is also the finale. So I don't know, we'll see how this goes. Then I got The Sky on Fire by Jen Leon. This is the author who wrote Ruin of Kings, and this one comes out also this month, July 2024. It's supposed to be a new fantasy heist adventure that will thrill fans of Temeraire, which is like the Naomi Novik, like her dragon series, Fourth Wing, and Dragon Riders of Pern. I mean, they already got me a dragons, so intrigued by this one. Then I got a special edition that's called To Cage a God by Elizabeth May. This one is, I think, from Illumicrate. Yeah, it says, oh, this is, first of all, look at this beautiful edition I have, and you guys can see this, but it's gorgeous. And this one is about using ancient secrets. Galena and Sarah's mother grafted gods into their bones, bound to brutal deities and granted forbidden power no commoner has held in millennia. The sisters have been raised as living weapons. Now the time has come for them to overthrow an empire, no matter the cost. This sounds so good, like totally up my alley. Another special edition, and that is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. This one is from Fairy Loot. This is the edition. But this is very different from like the regular edition. But yeah, the inside is stunning as well. Okay, so it also says, a woman blessed by the gods battle to unite a nation under a power-hungry king while also fighting her growing desire for his fiery son in this Norse-inspired fantasy romance from the best-selling author of the Bridge Kingdom series. I have not read that series, but it is on my TBR. But this called out to me because fantasy, Norse mythology, very intrigued. And then I got a book that I think came unsolicited, and that is Remedial Magic by Melissa Marr. And this one says, oh, I think it's supposed to be like a reimagining of Hansel and Gretel. So we'll see how this goes. But this is a very cute cover. And I don't think I've read anything from her since her Blue Blood series. I have so many books left. I'm not even halfway done. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but like 2 of those stacks are like giant. They're up to here, like from down there. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. But my next book on here is The Last Rewitch by Jenna Lee Yun. This is an pre-order that I made a while ago, and this one says you can't hold on to everything and everyone. You had to choose, and Ronnie only had 2 hands. It's about 2 Korean Americans who, thanks to Ronnie's dad's adoption by white parents, have never felt all that Korean. But Ronnie's okay with that as long as she's her dad and her best friend. And it's supposed to be about magic, mystery, suspense, and humor into this action-packed contemporary fantasy. Interesting. Oh, there's like a witch hunting dokebi. A dokebi is like a goblin, I think, in Korean. So lots of like lore and folklore there. Then I got a copy of A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. She's the same author who wrote that one. I don't have it here, but she did write that one series that I think I DNF, but this is what I'm intrigued by. It's also by Fairy Loot. This edition is stunning. And it's interesting because there's actually no synopsis anywhere. Like literally no synopsis. So I have no idea what this book is about. All I can say is that this book is gorgeous. Okay, so I got a dupe here. Why do I have a dupe here? I will give this away. All right, then I have Dragon Rider by Taryn Matharu. This has a book slip here. I think this is from Illumicrate. This is the edition that I have. Oh no, it's from Goldsboro. Okay, makes sense. And I have no idea what this book is about, guys, because there's no synopsis anywhere. I just know this has to do with dragons, and I think that's why I was like, I'm sold. Next book I got on here is To Gaze Upon a Wicked Gods by Molly X Chang. This one is an Illumicrate edition, so stunning edges. The inside, I think it's also signed by the author herself. And this inside. And this one says, heroes die, cowards live. She has power over death, he has power over her. When 2 enemies strike a dangerous bargain, will they end a war or ignite one? Very intrigued. It's about Antony, the 2nd Prince of Rome. And it's about a woman, Yang Ruying, who is the, I guess, like empress or something of Erlang, and they have been occupied by the Romans, who mercifully defeated the magic of her people. Intriguing. So the next 2 books I got are from the publishers as a promotion. So I got book 1 over here and book 2. This is Blood Debts. This is Blood Justice by Terry J. Benton Walker. This one follows 30 years ago, a woman was murdered and a family was lynched, and New Orleans saw the greatest magical massacre in its history. In the days that followed, a throne was stolen from a queen, and now it follows the powerful twin heirs. They're 16 years old, trying to discover that their mother is cursed by someone on the very magical council their family used to rule. And they're trying to like figure things out. So this is the 2nd book, and I believe this is the duology, like the end of the series. Either way, I'm really intrigued by it. Next book I got is A Feather So Black by Lyra Celine. This one is from Fairy Loot. Look at this gorgeous edition. They're so pretty. This one is about fantasy romance set in the world of perilous magic and moonlit forests, spinning a seductive tale of a changing princess, her cursed sister, and the dangerous Fey lord she must defeat to save her family. I mean, I love fantasy, so I'm already here for this. Then I got High Voltage by Chris Sugden and Jen Sugden. This is from Goldsboro. It's supposed to be a hilarious novel set in the greatest and most chaotic city in history, and that's all I kind of know about it. But I remember reading the synopsis and it seemed like really like a fun time, and this cover looks super fun and colorful. Next book I got is If I Stop Haunting You by Colby Wilkins. This is an ARC that I got. It came unsolicited, and it's supposed to be on sale October 15, 2024. And it says a woman who has a writing block, and she gets invited to a writer's retreat, so she decides to seize the opportunity, and then she ends up finding a guy who is a best-selling author, and he wants nothing to do with frustrating, adorable woman. And of course, I guess the 2 of them end up, something happens, and as the retreat begins, they find themselves trapped in a real-life ghost story. Dun dun dun. Okay, this book actually looks pretty interesting. Next one I got is In the Shadow of the Fall by Toby Agundiran. This one is out in July 2024. This also came unsolicited because you guys know I would not request a novella. It says, a cosmic war reignites and the fate of the Orisha lies in the hands of untried acolyte in his first entry and a new epic fantasy novella duology. And then I got another copy of Blood Justice, so I will be given this way as well. Next book I got is The Dead Cat Tail Assassins by P. Djeli Clark. This one is out, this came out April 2024. And it says the dead cat tailed assassins are not cats, nor do they have tails, but they are assuredly dead. And it's supposed to be a brand new world in a fantastical city full of gods and assassins. It's another like novella short book, so we'll see how this goes, guys. All right, I have about 4 stacks left, so let's get through these on the faster side because I'm fucking tired. I want to like go to sleep soon, but it's only 8 o'clock. So anyways, next book I got is Faebound. This one is by Sarah Arifi. I think I just got one of her other books at ALA. I feel like I did. So this is a special edition that I got, I believe, from Fairy Loot. No, Goldsboro. I am so bad. It says, divided by blood, imprisoned by fate, bound by desire, welcome to the intoxicating world of the Fae. I love Faes, so I'm already really intrigued by this one. Then I got The Principal Moments by Esme Jikiemi Pearson. I definitely butchered that name, I'm so sorry. This one is an Illumina Crate edition. Look at this beautiful cover and the inside. Stunning. And it says, this is a love letter to Black readers of science fantasy. It's a symphonic, century-spanning adventure, unmissable for fans of the spacefaring found family of Becky Chambers, the alternate London of V. Schwab, and the virtuosic climate craft of N.K. Jemisin. I am really intrigued. I do love fantasy and sci-fi, so this seems perfect. Then I got Her Radiant Curse by Elizabeth Lim. This is from Fairy Loot. This is the standalone spin-off of Six Crimson Cranes, and it follows Chani, who is the stepmother in Six Crimson Cranes, and kind of her like backstory. I really enjoyed Six Crimson Cranes, so I'm really intrigued by her because I feel like her story needed to be told. There's a lot there in terms of like how she came to be who she was, like the path that she went through, and just kind of understanding her person as more. So I was super intrigued when I found out that she had a backstory, like a prequel of that, and it follows not just her but her twin sister Vanna. So super intrigued by this one. Next one I got, I believe is from Goldsboro, and that is The Gilded Crown by Marianne Gordon. This one I also saw at ALA, but I did not get it. And it says, the first book in the Raven's Trade series, it says, the first time Halliver visited death, she was 10 years old. Since she was a little girl, she had been able to raise the dead. Every creature can be saved for a price demanded by the shrouded figure who rules the afterlife, who takes a little bit more from Halliver with each soul she resurrects. Intriguing. I am really intrigued. And it follows Princess Sullivan, sole heir to the kingdom's throne, becomes assassinated, and the queen summons her to demand that she brings her granddaughter back to life. But of course, the death will cause a civil war, so the queen commands that Halliver remains by her side. We'll see how this goes, but I am really intrigued. Next book I got is The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Mahurin. This is Fairy Loot. I want to say this is a I don't think this came from her box. I believe this is a book that I pre-ordered from them, and I was so intrigued because I feel like her books I've adored. I love Serpent and Dove, and I mean I love the first book more than I like the second book, but I saw this book came out and I was very intrigued by it. It says, darkness is coming for us, Celie. It's coming for you too. And it follows Celie, who took her sacred vows and joined the ranks of the Shasters as their first huntswoman. Then her fiance Jean-Luc, as captain, is determined to find her foothold in her new role and protect Valterra after she failed to protect her sister. Why do I feel like this book is this set in the same world? Because I feel like their names sound familiar. I could be wrong though. Next book I got is Gorgeous Gruesome Faces by Linda Chang. This book I believe came unsolicited because I don't remember this book. And it just says, it's a love letter to Asian horror, pop culture, fan culture, complicated female relationship, and queer love. So we'll see how this goes. Then I got The Forest Grimm by Catherine Purdy. This is a Fairy Loot edition that I got, and this is stunning. Like, look, this cover is gorgeous. Look at this, and the inside. beautiful. It says over here, once upon a time, villagers would whisper their desires to the Book of Fortunes, and its pages reveal how to obtain them. All was well until someone used the book for evil. Afterward, the branches of the forest Grimm snatched the book away, and the village withered. They tried to make amends with the forest, but every time someone crossed the border, they never returned. Now it follows a girl, her name is Clara, who, despite the warning from her fortune teller grandmother, she embarks on a journey into the deadly forest to procure the Book of Fortune. So we'll see how this goes, but this sounds super intriguing. I do love this cover. Then I got Vengeance of the Pirate Queen by Trisha Levenseller. I believe this is a spin-off from the original duology here, and I want to say this follows a character that was introduced in the second book in like her romance, and I was really intrigued because I remember like as soon as they were introduced I was like, that is a, you know, what was it, like enemies to lovers romance, but they're not really enemies per se, they just don't like each other, but I knew there was like chemistry right off the beginning, so this is like their story, so I'm super excited for this one. And then I finally got the Illumicrate finale of the Winter Night trilogy. So this is book 2 and book 3. I got book 1 like a while ago when they first did it, and then they finally released the next 2 books, which is the last 2 books of the series, and these are the editions. I love the series so much that I had to actually pre-order the version because I wanted a special edition. Originally I really wanted the Fairy Loot version, but they were going so expensive, and they also were sold before I read them, so I didn't know if I liked them or not. And then I read them and I was like, I want a special edition for myself. And then I tried finding them, couldn't find them, and then Illuminate came out and I was like, you know what, these are really pretty too, so I got them. And then I got the second book, Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I usually don't like to get sequels because I haven't read the first one yet, but I feel like I've heard so much hype about the first one that I'm like, you know what, even if I don't like the first one, I still would be able to like sell the 2 as a set versus just having one. So that's why I was like, I would just get it and see how it goes, but I feel like I would love it because I do like her books. Next book I got on here is an ARC. I think it came unsolicited, and that is The Last Blood Carver by Vanessa Lee. This one, I actually got this at ALA because this cover seemed really pretty, and it said it's a tantalizing romance where it meets the mechanical wonders of Cinder in this book. It's a first of a 2-book debut about riveting medical magic system and a lush Vietnam-inspired fantasy world. Like I said, I'm always trying to support my Asian people, so really excited about this one. Honestly, like one thing that my friend and I were like really scouring through the floors were like diverse book, especially when it comes to like, for me it's like Asian representative, but for her she was like all diverse. So like whenever she saw one that was like diverse, either it's queer or just like a diverse author, she's like, I have to grab it just to see, because she was mostly there to kind of like promote her ERG book club at work, and I was there to kind of like do booktube stuff, so that's like the reason why we both went. So she was there to collect a lot of these type of books, and I think she got this too, maybe she didn't, I'm not sure. By the way, I found out I have a book from the publisher they sent me already, so I didn't have to get it at ALA. Next one I got is Of Dragons and Fae, Promise and Fire, and it's by Jasmine Walt. This I believe came unsolicited because I don't recall this cover. It says it is a brand new fantasy series and it's about a fae with impossible magic, a dragon woken from slumber, and a kingdom corrupted by darkness. I mean, dragon, like I am already here for that. Then I finally got, I think this is the third and final book of the, I have it here somewhere, Ballads of Never After, right there. So this is the third book in the series, Curse of True Love. I am so excited because I'm so excited to see like how it ends, and I love the Caraval series. I actually like that way more than I expected. Like I went into it kind of like middle expectations, but ended up coming out like loving it. So then I found this is like a spin-off series that follows one of the characters I was really excited about in that first series, so I cannot wait to read this. And now that I have the final book, I will try to read the series soon. Then I got To Kill a Shadow by Catherine Quinn. This one I think is unsolicited because I don't remember getting it, and it says, in a world of darkness, become the nightmare. It's definitely a fantasy. It follows a guy named Jude Maddox who knows nothing of love or even light. He only knows his grim duty as a hand of death. And then it follows Kiara Frey. She's an outcast, but she like somehow finds him seductive and so things kind of happen from there. It's like a romantasy. Then I finally got Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is a book that I did purchase. I think it was on sale on Amazon, and I was like, this is a book I've heard a lot about through the years, so I was really intrigued. And it says, it's difficult to find a husband in Regency England when you're a young woman with only half a soul. But I've heard this book is like super fun, very like entertaining, a little quirky, but very like romantic too. So I just heard good things overall. Then I got this one, which definitely came unsolicited because I think this is actually the sequel to a book that I haven't read yet, and that is All the Hidden Things by Foz Meadows. This is book 2 for Strange and Stubborn Endurance, which I have somewhere. Like, I have been trying to read this book or like look for this book for months, and I cannot find it. I don't know where it is, but I do have it because I got it somewhere. I have the ARC. So this is the sequel for that. And I got Defiant by Brandon Sanderson. This is, I believe, the last book in the series. Like, this Skyward series has been going on for a while actually, and I only read the first 2. I love the first book. The second one kind of like lost me a bit, but I want to continue on because I feel like I just need to read the first book again and fall in love with the characters and the story, and then I think I have to just binge read the rest. So this is like a continuation. I'm hoping this is the last one, but I think there might be book 5. I don't know why. Then I got this one, which I'm really excited for, and that is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. This is one that I did pre-order from FairyLoot a long time ago, and this came actually like a hot minute ago. And this cover, this is stunning, this edition. And I just know that this is her first like foray into a new series that's not Shadowhunters, so I'm really excited to see what that means. And that's really all I know, but I really like her Shadowhunter books, so I feel like I will also like this one as well. But I'm just curious to see like how she would craft these characters, since we no longer have the Shadowhunters world to like build off of, because I feel like her last few books, because we all know the Shadowhunter world, they're not very like world building. Like, there's not a lot of world building to it because we already know the world. Like, the world building all happened like the original series. So wonder how this will be. Okay guys, 2 more stacks. Let's fucking go. All right, next book I have on here is Masquerade by Oo Sengoyomi. This cover is stunning, first of all. This one also came unsolicited because I definitely did not request this one. And it says, her rise to power paid in blood. It's a reimagined 15th century West Africa. It's a dazzling lyrical tale exploring the true cost of one's woman fight for freedom and self-discovery, and the lengths she'll go to secure her future. I actually saw this one at LA. They were doing a book signing, but I already had a copy. This one I actually knew I had a copy of, so I didn't get a second one because I didn't want to like take books that I already have a dupe of. If I didn't know, that's a different story, but this one I did know. Then I have, okay, I got another dupe of Foul Days. Lovely. Then I got Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. This is an Illumicrate book that I got. This cover is so pretty. Look at this. Like, it's so stunning. I love the blue. There's obviously dragons in here, so I think that's why I was like sold. To seek revenge, she needs to stay alive. So there's about assassins, obviously dragons, jealous guild masters. Actually, maybe it doesn't have dragons in it. It doesn't talk about dragons in this synopsis at all, but I'm assuming they play a role because it literally says Of Jade and Dragons, and the side has a dragon, so there is a dragon here somewhere. Next one I got is actually from a trade, and that is The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu. This is the one that I've been intrigued by because I feel like, first of all, I love the cover. I haven't read his other books yet, and I've just heard so many good things about his books, so I saw this one. It looks intriguing, and it's supposed to be an epic fantasy ode to martial arts and magic. It's about a prophesized hero who must work with a band of unlikely allies to save their kingdom. Then I got Last House by Jessica Shattuck. This is also unsolicited. And this one says, sweeping story of a nation on the rise and one's family deeply complicated relationship to the resource that built their fortune and fueled their greatest tragedy. Interesting. It's about like how they entered the golden age of oil. Honestly, not really my type of book, to be honest, so I might end up giving this book away as well. We'll see. Next one I got is one I'm also really excited for, and that is There Is a Door in This Darkness by Kristen Cashore. This is her new book, and she wrote the Grace Thing series, which I adored in like high school, and I feel like I haven't seen a book from her in a hot minute until she started writing like the continuation of that series a couple years back, and then she wrote this one, and I was very intrigued because it's supposed to be a magic tinge contemporary, so it's not really a like fantasy, it's like reality with a dash of magic in it, because it talks about Donald Trump and COVID. Like, I am intrigued by this. Next book I have on here is A Fragile Enchantment by Alison Saft. This is a Fairy Loot edition, and this edition is stunning. I love the edges and the inside. Look how beautiful it is. It says forbidden desire woven through every stitch, and it's a love story through the ages, threaded with intrigue and scandal. Definitely has like a Regency vibe to it. Then I got Woman of Good Fortune by Sophie Wan. This one is out in, oh, this came out March 5th, 2024. It's supposed to be a feminist caper of counterfeit meets the glitzy high society world of Crazy Rich Asian in its heartfelt, funny, dazzling debut. It follows a girl, her name is Lulu, who has always been taught that money is the ticket to a good life. So when Shanghai's most eligible bachelor surprises her with a proposal, the only acceptable answer is yes, even if the voice inside her head is saying no. His family's fortune will solve all of her parents' financial woes, but she isn't in love or ready for marriage. And then enters her two best friends, and before long they realize that her wedding is their golden opportunity. So we'll see. I don't know, this sounds actually really interesting. Sounds like a fun time. Next one I got is Everything We Never Said by Sloane Harlow. This also came unsolicited. This one is out last month, and it says what you don't know can hurt you. It's been months since the accident that killed Ella's best friend Haley, and Ella can't stop blaming herself. Now she's back at school, and everywhere she looks are reminders of her best friend, including Sawyer, her boyfriend. Little by little, they grow closer until Ella realizes something horrifying. She's in love with her dead best friend's boyfriend. Dun dun dun. Okay, I'm actually really intrigued by this one. Next one I got is Running Close to the Wind by Alexandra Rowland. This one also came unsolicited because I don't remember this book. It says it came out last month in June. It says, for fans of Our Flag Means Death, discover a low fantasy on the high seas of Alexandra's Running Close to the Wind. It follows this character called Avra Halvaki, a former field agent of the Rosti Ministry of Intelligence, accidentally stole the single most expensive secret in the world and the only place to flee with a secret that big as the open sea. And now it must ask help from his off-again ex, the pirate captain, to Revi as Hafar. I'm really butchering that name. Yeah, very intriguing actually. It's like fantasy. I for some reason thought this was going to be like more set in the real world, but it definitely has fantasy elements to it. Sea serpents, etc. Definitely adventure filled. Next book I got is The City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. This is from Fairy Loot. Again, stunning edition as per usual. And this one says, there's a cost of survival, Violet Everly. It's just a matter of fine-tuning the price. It says, be a seductive, magical underworld of power-hungry scholars, fickle gods, and monsters bent on revenge. Honestly, anything that's like gods and stuff, I'm very intrigued. Next book I got is the highly anticipated House of Flame and Shadow that I got ages ago. I still need to read this one. I have not read it yet, but obviously I am so excited. I mean, am I excited because I haven't read it yet? I think when I got it, I was like, I'm gonna read it this month. Did not happen, clearly. Mainly because I kind of want to do a reread of Throne of Glass. I done a reread recently of, wait, did I do a reread recently? No, I did a reread of this series, the Crescent City series, I think last year. And then I read Court of Silver Flames recently as well. But I kind of want to read Court of Throne of Glass because I don't think I've read that since the last book came out. And that was years ago. So I might want to do a reread of that one before I dive into this one, because this one has a lot of like, this was where the worlds finally like, I don't know, intertwine. So I feel like I would need a better understanding of the world again, since it's been a hot minute since I've read the other series. Then I got At Her Service by Amy Spalding. This one also came unsolicited. It says, a sweetly sexy, thoroughly modern new novel about single life, social media, career goals, and making the bold move to grab your own happiness and write your own love story. I mean, this looks very cute. Then I got Not Your Crutch's Cauldron by April Asher. This also came unsolicited. It's supposed to be a buttoned up witch takes a stroll on the wildest side, sparking an alert that lands her a familiar guardian. Why do I feel like this is actually a book 2 and not a book 1? I feel like this is a sequel. Next book I got is Heart Song by TJ Klune. I did request this one actually because I loved his other books. Even though I haven't read the series yet, I do want to pick up the rest of the series, so I got it and I definitely can't wait to read this. Next book I got, I knew I had a copy of this one, but I wasn't really sure because I did end up getting the copy signed at ALA. So that is 12 Nights by Alexine Farrell Fullmuth. This is also by Olivia Blake, same author, and it's supposed to be a YA romantic comedy and coming of age about taking up space in the world and learning what it means to let others in. And this one came out last month. Then I got Rake's Fall by Vajira Chandraraskera. I'm so sorry, I definitely butchered that name. This one came out last month, and this one came unsolicited because I definitely don't recall this cover. This is to be a standalone science fiction epic about two souls bound together from here unto the ends of time. Very intriguing. Next one I got is a dupe because I got the hardcover of this one. So now this is my third copy. What in the world? I need to really I should have gone through these books first. They've just been sitting there for so long. I just have not gone through them. Next one I got is The Shadow Key by Susan Stokes Chapman. This one came out, this is coming out in September 2024. It's set in an isolated estate in late 18th century rural Wales, where a young English doctor uncovers dangerous secrets that may threaten his own life in this spellbinding gothic tale. I actually like the cover. Then I got A Legend in the Baking by Jamie Wesley. This one's all about cupcakes and baking. It's supposed to be accidentally going viral on social media. A cupcake baking football player gets assistance from a social media maven and his best friend's little sister to help promote his new bakery. And of course, things kind of go between it. It's like a romance. It seems super cute. I'm ready for all the cute cupcake recipes, so definitely intrigued by this one. Next one I got is Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. This one is from Fairy Loot. Another edition. I love this. There's like little bees on there. Edition is so pretty. Hello. Anyways, this one is supposed to be very whimsical, and it follows a woman. Her name is Marigold Claude. Always prefer the company of the spirits of the meadow to any of the suitors who try to woo her. So when her grandmother whisks her away to the family cottage with an offer to train her as the next Honey Witch, she accepts immediately. But her newfound magic and independence come with a price. No one can fall in love with the Honey Witch. And then it follows a woman. Her name is Lottie Burke, who is a notoriously grumpy skeptic who doesn't believe in magic, and so Marigold can't resist the challenge to prove to her that magic is real. And then of course she begins to care for Lottie in a way that she never expected. So very intriguing. Next one I got is Lord of Empty Isles by Jules Arbo. This one is a Goldsboro edition I got. It says one curse, two sworn enemies, thousands of lives in the balance. I love the edition. Gorgeous. All right, then this next one I got, oh my god, I think I also got this at ALA. What in the world? Okay, this one is Blood of the Old Kings by Sung Il Kim. This one is out in October 2024. It says there is no escaping this empire, even in death you will serve. And it's an empire run on necromancy, where dead sorcerers are the lifeblood. That is super interesting. Yeah, I definitely got this book at ALA too. This is at this point I have so many dupes. This is ridiculous. All right, next book I got on here. Oh my god, good thing I did not get this book because I was like, why does this book look so familiar? And it's because I have a copy. Daughter of Calamity by Rosalie M. Lin. This one came unsolicited, but this is a stunning cover. It says, Jingwen spends her night as a showgirl at the Paramount, one of the most lavish clubs in Shanghai, competing ruthlessly to charm wealthy patrons. To cap off her shift, she runs money for her grandmother, the exclusive surgeon to the most powerful gang in the city, a position her grandmother is pressuring her to inherit. When a series of dancers is targeted, the attackers stealing their faces, Jingwen fears she could be next. She realized that Shanghai's glittering mirage of carefree luxury comes at a terrible price. Lots of intrigue here. Romance, gang rivals, underworld. Very interesting. Next book I got on here is The First Bright Things by J.R. Dawson. This one also came unsolicited. This is not an arc. Ringmaster Rin, to those who know her best, can jump to different moments in time as easily as her wife Odette soars from bar to bar on the trapeze. And the circus they lead is a rare home and safe haven for magical misfits and outcasts known as Sparks. With the world still reeling from World War I, Rin and her troupe, the circus of fantasticals travel the Midwest, offering a single night of enchantment and respite to all those who step into the big top. But threats come at Rin from all sides. The future holds an impending war that the Sparks can see barreling toward their show and everyone in it. And Rin's past creeps closer every day, a malevolent shadow she can't fully escape. Intriguing. This cover is really pretty though. Next one I got is Song of the Six Realms by Judy I. Lin. This is not a sequel to her Magic Steeped in Poison, is it? This also came unsolicited, by the way. It says, because everything says duology, because this is duology. So I think it's a new fantasy. It follows a woman called Shu, who is a talented young musician, but has no past and probably no future. Orphaned at a young age, she was taken in by her kindly poet uncle, who arranged for an apprenticeship at one of the most esteemed entertainment houses in the kingdom. One night, she's unexpectedly called to the garden to put on a private performance for the enigmatic Duke Meng. But for a young woman of nobility, he is strangely kind and awkward and surprises her with an irresistible offer. Serve as a musician and resident as a man for just 3 years, and he'll set her free of her indenture. But then, of course, the motives become increasingly more suspect. Interesting. Very intrigued by this book. Also, the cover is stunning. Next book I got is How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. This one also came unsolicited, came out in April, and it's supposed to be a contemporary romance novel debut. That's all I know about this one. All right, next book I got is The Silver Blood Promise by James Logan. This also came unsolicited. This one came out already, I believe, in May. And it's supposed to be about an epic fantasy debut packed with winning banter, thrilling twists, and a blockbuster action. All right, I'm finally down to the last couple books. Next book I got is A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. This one came, I think I did request this one because I feel like I was intrigued by this cover. This one comes out in August 2024, and this will be a dark retelling of the Brother Grimm's Goose Girl, rife with magic, murder, and forbidden magic. The next book I got is one because I have read this book previously. I listened to an audiobook and I did not like it. I think I was too stupid to understand the audiobook to like actually comprehend it. And then the TV show came out, and watching it made so much more sense. And I was like, you know what? Now I feel like I should go back to the book and read it physically this time and see how that goes. And that is Three Body Problems by Cixin Liu. This book, very excited for it. It's obviously about sci-fi, it's about aliens, it's like a VR game, and it was very like heavy on the science, especially the physics part, but the show was so good, so I'm really excited about this one. And then I got another copy of The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo because I had pre-ordered this before the Illuminate edition came out, so I got a dupe here. But either way, I'm really excited for this book. Next book I got on here is Asunder by Kirsten Hall. This one's out in August 2024. And it's supposed to be a new standalone novel. It says we choose our own gods here. It follows a woman, her name is Karis Eska, who is a death speaker. And she's locked into irrevocable compact with Sebaster, a terrifying eldritch being, 3-faced, 100-winged, unforgiving, who has granted her the ability to communicate with the newly departed. She pays the rent by using her ability to investigate suspicious deaths around the troubled city she calls home. When a job goes sideways and connects her to a dying stranger with some very dangerous secrets, her entire world is upended. This actually sounds really good. Then I got Fathom Folk by Eliza Chen. This one is a Illuminate series. Look at this edition. It came in my subscription box. Beautiful as ever. It says, welcome to Tian Kawi, shining pearl of human civilization, a safe haven for those fleeing civil unrest. And it follows a half siren, Mira, who was promoted to captain of the border guards, and Nami, a know-it-all water dragon, Fathom Folk royalty, exiled to the city. Dude, I'm so intrigued by this already. Like, this sounds so good. Next book I got is Goddess of the River by Vaishnavi Patel. She's the same author who wrote Kaikeyi, which I adored. I read it with my book club at this point like 1.5 years ago, and we all loved it. So we're actually gonna read this for, I think, like August or September, because I wanted to give them time to get a copy of it because I know it just came out. But I have a special edition, the Illuminate, so I'm already all good to go, but I want them to be able to get a chance to get a copy or borrow it from the library in time. It's a mother and son, a goddess and a prince, a curse and an oath, a river whose course will change fate of the world. I am so excited because I loved her previous book. Her writing was just breathtaking. Next book I got on here is The Darkness Within Us by Tricia Levenseller. This one is Fairy Loot. It says, my husband is taking too long to die. ... So it's a woman who like, her elderly, it's like a, what they call like, a gold digger. So her elderly husband finally dies and she's like has all the freedom and money that she ever wanted, and then the man claiming to be her husband or estranged grandson turns up to steal her inheritance. Like this is like a fantasy of a gold digger, and I am so intrigued by this. All right guys, the last and final book I got finally is The God in Gumiho by Sophie Kim. This is from a Fairy Loot. It says, he's a fallen god, she's a shape-shifting fox. They'll do anything to outsmart each other, anything except fall in love. Count me intrigued. This is the edition. Beautiful. So yeah, these are all the books I got. I don't even know, I don't want to count them, guys. I might do a little counter here to show you guys like how many books I got in the past 6 months, because it is insane. And now I have to go through my ALA, but I think I'll do that for tomorrow because it's already like 9 o'clock and I'm fucking tired. But anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know below which books are you most excited for. Some of these are like older books already because they've been out for a while. I do have a shit ton of dupes though, which is kind of unfortunate, but I was not super surprised. I think what I'm most surprised are the ones that are dupes in this pile, because that means this publisher sent me the ARCs and then the final copy as well. And then I think that happened like a couple times too. So that's the part that I am surprised by. I'm not surprised by myself having dupes from ALA books because I didn't really remember what I got from all these. And I will be doing my ALA book haul next, and then I think after that I will be doing a reorganization because my shelves are becoming super messy. So look forward to those videos in the future. As always, if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. I really just have on my channel, and if you like to see more content of me, please don't hesitate to subscribe below, as well as the notification bell. And as always, if you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.